everybody, you're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM Wickham Sound. This is the weekly radio show where we chat about the local arts news. We have a different guest on each week. We head over to the Rhylight Zone for a short story and or some poetry. We catch up with Twangling Jack Ford over in the Oak Shed for a weekly album review, and we play local, unsigned and or independent music. As always, you can find us on Facebook. If you search for The Art Show on Wickham Sound, you should be able to find us. We're repeated on Wickham Sound on Monday nights. We're on the Wickham Sound Listen Again, iTunes, Spotify and wherever else you get your podcasts. You can also reach out to me here at the studio on dane.cobain@wickhamsound.org.uk. That's dane.cobain at wickhamsound.org.uk. I'm particularly keen to hear from poets, performers, musicians, anyone with MP3s to share, stories to share, local arts news, etc. Don't hesitate to get in touch. So today we're going to be chatting to Laura Stone, who is a YouTuber. She is also an ASMR artist. But before we do that, we're going to head over to the Rhylight Zone for the latest instalment of Formerly, The Rise and Fall of a Social Network. This is a novel by myself, Dane Cobain. It's available on Amazon and other platforms in ebook, paperback and audiobook formats. We've been serialising it in recent weeks, so if you've missed an episode, be sure to listen on catch up. Otherwise, here we go. Formerly, The Rise and Fall of a Social Network.
Chapter 23. The Chinese invasion took place with all of the speed and efficiency of a bulldozer building a house. We made slow progress and got used to seeing lawyers around the office. When the first guy came in, we all knew what he was. Sometimes you can tell that a guy is a lawyer just by looking at him, like you can spot a programmer by his ponytail and his Dungeons and Dragons t-shirt. There was an army of lawyers invading the compound, one soldier at a time. When I plucked up the courage to ask Peter what the hell was going on, he was evasive. "All I can tell you, Dan," he said, "is that Chinese law has a lot of nuances. We don't want to get shut down before we've even started." "Where did we get the money to pay for them?" I asked, but Peter just tapped the side of his nose and told me to keep quiet. The lawyers weren't our only unexpected visitors. Less than a week after the founder's announcement, Elaine flew over from London. She was working full-time now and heading up a small army of accountants who were still back in the UK. Nate said she wasn't happy. She was doing the work of a finance director, but without the status, the title or the salary. She arrived around lunchtime, walking into the office unannounced and handing out free hugs to anyone who wanted one, including the folks she'd never met. There were more new faces than old ones, but she still swept down on everyone in sight like a drunk mother at her daughter's birthday party. "Elaine," I beamed when my turn came round. "Long time no see, what's new?" "It's a long story," she replied. There was something furtive about her expression, something that I'd never seen before. She was hiding something, presumably on the founder's orders. "Times are busy and Peter wants to keep an eye on me. You know what he's like, and now that we're setting up shop in China, there's a lot of paperwork to worry about." "Fair enough," I said. "So how long are you staying? They haven't flown you out just for the day, have they?" "I have no idea," Elaine replied. "I was told to pack a suitcase, to print off my ticket, and to come here as quickly as possible." "So where's your case? Let me take it in for you." "It's back in the limo, damn. Don't worry, I'm not staying here. It's too much for me. The boys are putting me up in a hotel." I found out what was happening a couple of days later. I'd given Nate specific instructions to find out why Elaine was over here, and he didn't let me down. He arranged to meet me at the same place as before. This time, he was there first, and he'd already ordered coffees for both of us. He didn't bother to say hello. "Got my money?" he asked. I nodded and handed over a small, bulging envelope. I'd had to dip into my savings to pay for it, but I was hoping that the information would be worth it. "It's all in there," I said. "Now you live up to your end of the deal." "Hey," Nate said. "Not so fast. It's not quite that simple. This wasn't a case of just finding some printouts. I had to put in a lot of work." "Oh yeah?" I snorted. "Like what?" "I tracked Elaine back to the hotel," he explained. "It wasn't too difficult. I found out her room number without a problem. That was the easy part. The hard part was getting her room key. I had to pay someone off." "Well, that's just the thing. I didn't find much to begin with, just clothes and a passport. She didn't even have a laptop. I looked everywhere." Nate paused his story to flag down a waitress for another coffee. To my mounting frustration, he waited for his drink to arrive before continuing. "Now, where was I?" he asked. "Ah, yes. So like I said, I didn't find anything worthwhile. But I didn't stop there. I set up a couple of hidden microphones in a hotel room, just in case. I figured we might pick something up, and, with a bit of luck, they might even go unnoticed. After all, I can go back in and take them out at any time, and Niels and his men have no power outside the compound." "Leave them there for now," I said. "What have you got for me so far?" I caught Elaine's end of a phone call. It sounds like big news if you ask me. There's a lot to take in, and you're going to want to hear it yourself. Luckily for you, I made a copy. He slid a memory stick across the table. "Take that home and listen to it," he said. "You won't be disappointed." I hopped in my Tesla and drove at random until I found a quiet place to pull over. I needed privacy to listen to the recording, which I quickly did. Taking no chances, I wore headphones in case someone had bugged the car. You can never be too careful. The recording was tinny but clearly audible, and it was clearly Elaine who was audible. I believed in its authenticity. It didn't sound edited, as though different recordings had been stitched together. It seemed to be the real deal. You could only hear Elaine's side of the conversation, but that was all you needed. They were talking laws and protocols, looking for tax breaks and figuring out how to do something big, something massive, something that would change the company forever. And after listening to the recording, I knew exactly what it was. You could tell what was happening from the questions, and while I couldn't tell who she was talking to, a stock market specialist, a fellow accountant, or even the founders themselves, it was obvious what they were talking about. Formally was heading to the New York Stock Exchange. The company was going public. Several days later, the two directors ushered me into a private room and stationed Niels outside the door with a double-barreled shotgun in his hands. "Sit down, Dan," John said, gesturing for me to do so. I did as I was told. "How can I help?" I asked. Secretly, I thought I was about to get fired or worse. It was hard to tell with the founders. Right now, they were doing their best to smile, but it wasn't reassuring. It was like being winked at by a lion. "John and I have a proposition for you," Peter said. His face remained inscrutable. "How long have you been working at Formally, Dan?" "I have no idea," I replied. Seasons seemed to come and go arbitrarily, and the move to Palo Alto had confused me. "If I had to guess," I said, "about 18 months, maybe 2 years. 2 years sounds right to me," John said. "Truth is, we don't remember either, and neither of us can be bothered to check the records. But what we do know is that you're the most senior member of the team, both in terms of your authority over the team and in terms of the length of time you've been here." "If you don't count Flick," I replied. Peter flashed a half smile at me. "Flick's not a programmer," he said. "She's a bright girl, but she doesn't know the site quite like you do. You got a bright future ahead of you," he said. "Let's face it, Dan, we can't steer this ship alone anymore, and it'll be a cold day in hell before we bring someone in from the outside, whatever the investors say. I won't stand for it." "And neither will I," said John. "Which is precisely why we're talking to you, Dan. We need you to take on a little extra responsibility. Think you're ready for it?"
Alright, that was an excerpt from Formerly The Rise and Fall of a Social Network by myself, Dane Cobain, for this week's entry into the Rhylight Zone. You're listening to The Archer on 106.6 FM Wickham Sound, and this is Chilton Groove with Reaching Out.
Conversation he has tried. can't find the words. Everyone has a voice, we just want to be heard. Everyone has a voice, we just want to be heard. And I saw him reaching out for more. Reaching out for more. I saw him reaching out for more. Reaching out for more. Reaching out for more. More. Reaching out for more.
I've got a feeling we're onto something. Why the emergency? Takes one and no one isn't the problem. If one of us takes or leaves. If I say it in reverse, if I say it even faster, if I throw out the words all the way. Say we finally decide, would we only be excited by the range of the words, not the aim? Nothing's changed. You look just the same. Nothing's changed. I feel just the same. I need to piece this all back together, down to the way we leaned. Braced for the barbed wire, wrap round the answers, chase for the dopamine. Sat here on opposing sides, all the openings look further as the shade pulls my patience away. Say I made it to your side, would you only recognize me by the rate of my words, not the weight? If I saw you were fading, cause your head it was saying what your conscience was begging you to say. When you see it in your mind, it's like turning up the lights, through the gears from the joy to the pain. Nothing's changed. You look just the same. Nothing's changed. I feel just the same. Let the feeling through. 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 Let the feeling. What's it taking just to get this far? Sleep ain't easy when we lay apart. Let the feeling through. Let the feeling through. Let the feeling through. Let the feeling through.
That was Nothing's Changed by Harry Quinn, and before that we had Reaching Out by Chilton Groove. You're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM Wickham Sound. I'm your host, Dane Cobain, and it's time for us to be joined now by this week's guest, who is ASMR artist and YouTuber Laura Stone. So the first question is one that I ask everybody, and I think you'll actually have a good answer to this. Not everybody does, because it's bookish related, and obviously not everyone's a big reader. But it's, what was the last book that you read, and what did you think of it?
Well, the last book I read, I'm a bookworm, by the way, a proud bookworm. The last book I read was Laura Sebastian's Ash Princess. It's part of a trilogy. It's amazing if you're into your YA fantasy. A little bit predictable, but also some twists thrown in as well. So yeah, really super enjoying the series. Love it.
Awesome. And you kind of want a little bit of predictability as well anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because I read a lot of kind of cozy mysteries, for example, and it's like, well, you've got to have that big scene at the end where the detective gathers everybody in the room. You know, you can tell it's coming, but it's got to be there. It doesn't feel like a mystery without it. And then, as you say, it's the twists that they add. It's kind of like making cookies or something, isn't it? It's like, you know what a cookie is like, but what is interesting is when somebody comes up with like a unique flavor of a cookie, or they put a surprise ingredient in or whatever.
True that.
Cool. So I have a bunch of stuff I want to chat to you about today, and obviously one of the big ones, because you run your ASMR YouTube channel, and I wondered if you could explain to people who haven't heard of it before, what is ASMR?
So ASMR stands for I can't remember it now. Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. There we go. Basically videos, sounds, visuals to help people to sleep, to help them relax. If you're feeling anxious and stressed, it can help you calm down. There's so many different types of ASMR videos out there, but there's always, I think, something for everyone. You know, hopefully that you'll find something that will work for you. And, you know, it's basically relaxation and sleep inducing videos.
Yeah. And what kind of people can benefit from ASMR?
Everyone and anybody. I have viewers of all ages, all around the world, all you know, what's I can't say. Oh God, all genders. There we go. I was thinking of books and saying genres there. So yeah if you can get that bit out, all yeah, everyone and anyone basically. I have viewers of all different ages, as I say, and people that, you know, it helps with their anxiety, or people that can't sleep, they're having insomnia problems, or sometimes people who are just a bit lonely and just a bit bored and just want a video to, you know, make it feel like someone's talking to them and hanging out with them and stuff like that. So I think it can benefit so many people in so many, you know, ways, which is brilliant.
Yeah. And like, what about some of the feedback that you got? What's some of the nicest bits of feedback you've received? Because you must have had some nice comments from, again, people who can't sleep, or, you know, who you've helped them through tough times in life and all that kind of stuff.
You know, I get a lot of comments. I do get a few trolls, a bit nasty now and again, but we'll not think of that. But positive comments that you know, they really make my day and they make it worthwhile. People say, you know, that they've been having a panic attack and I've helped them through it. Or someone the other day said they had a really bad migraine headache, and my video kind of helped them to relax so much that it took away the headache, which is, you know, amazing. Once again, if they can't sleep, and it helps them sleep, and just, you know, in general, makes them smile, makes them relax, chills them out, you know, especially after a stressful day at work or whatever. And it's just a nice way of helping people.
Yeah, and I think that's, again, a really nice way to put it, a nice way of helping people, and you're kind of bringing a bit of good into the world, and it strikes me as that's something that you try and do throughout your life in general. You know, you always seem to be an approachable and like supportive person of people. I know, I'm going to give you a big ego.
You know, the way I look at it, Dane, is there's so many negative people in the world. If I can be one of the positives and help others in any way, even if it's a small way, I'm happy with that, and I'll carry on doing it. So it's all good.
Awesome, cool. And so what inspired you to create an ASMR YouTube channel?
So I started watching ASMR videos, and these people that I was watching were helping me so much. I get anxiety, I was having problems sleeping, and I just thought, these people are helping me. I wish I could help other people. I didn't know anything. I'm not very tech savvy, as you know. But I had my little laptop and my webcam and just kind of sat there and started doing videos, and then they got views and subscribers. It went up and up, and it was just, it's kind of started there. It's been going. I've done my channel for like nearly Yeah, I think it's about 9 years now.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's a long time, but I love it, in general,
Yeah.
mostly.
Yeah.
Mostly.
And again, you say so you've been doing it for 9 years, and you
Yeah.
create a lot of videos as well. And I wondered, like, where do you get all of your ideas for the different ASMR videos that you do?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've done over it's got to be over 2,000 videos on my channel, pretty much about that. I'm just a very creative person, always have been, and I'm quite young at heart as well. So I have lots of ideas just come out, and with the ASMR, a lot of the videos I do are like role play,
Yeah.
not in a dodgy way,
Yeah.
like like let me give you a relaxing haircut, let me brush your hair, very kind of nice stuff. But I think because I've got that character and I'm creative, my ideas just literally, I can be sitting on the toilet and have an idea,
Yeah.
and I have to quickly write it down. Like, I don't want to forget the
Yeah.
idea. And just, yeah, I've always been quite creative. So it's a great outlet for me. Apart from helping people, it's also a great way for me selfishly to be creative and have fun.
Yeah. Well, everybody wins, don't they? It's funny because
Exactly.
it's what you were just saying now. I've literally just come off an interview with somebody else, and we were talking about songwriting, and they had the same problem. They said they were waiting for a train, and then suddenly they realized just into their head popped
You've got
into
it.
this chorus of this song that they've been working on, and so then
Yeah.
they're there at a train station trying to like sing it really quietly into their
Quickly
phone
get
so
it.
that they don't forget it.
Yeah.
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 Cool. And you've obviously, so you've got, that's your main channel is your ASMR, and then you have another one which is just your sort of general
My little
stuff.
vlog channel,
Yeah,
my
it's
baby.
your general stuff channel where you've got a whole bunch of stuff on there.
Yeah,
But
so
what
I've got.
oh,
Oh,
go
sorry,
ahead.
go on.
No, you let us know what kind of stuff you post on that
Yeah,
second
so I've
channel.
got Minx Laura 123 ASMR. Tip, hint, hint. That's the ASMR channel, and the vlog channel is Minx Laura 123's Wacky World because I'm wacky. But yeah, I do a mixture. Obviously, ASMR on one channel. Vlog channel is a mixture of things. It's book related because I'm a bookworm. I do spend a day with me vlogs, shopping hauls, scratch cards, bit of paranormal, like literally everything and anything. So I like that I can do one on one channel and stick to one sort of thing on the other.
Yeah, yeah, cool. And you mentioned so you're a bit of a bookworm, and
Oh, very much
you do
so.
the occasional bookish videos. I wondered if you could define for us, first of all, what is BookTube, and what inspired you to start creating BookTube videos.
So yeah, I'm big bookworm, love reading. I read every day, and for me, BookTube, I try and make as many book related videos as I can. They don't get as many views as other videos I do, but I
Mm,
enjoy them, and that's
yeah.
all that matters to me. So I keep doing them, and there's someone that likes them maybe. I do book hauls, so whenever I get new books, I do monthly reading wrap ups, things like that. I do book tags. I've tagged you in a few over the
Hmm.
years. So yeah, any book related. For me, booktube is just people who are passionate about reading, who love reading. I love watching people's videos who, just talk about, and you can see it in their eyes that they love the book and they love talking about the stories. And I find it really, nice to watch. So, and obviously, I'll get ideas for other books that I want
Yeah.
to buy from other people's videos as well on booktube.
Awesome. And do you want to shout out a few of the channels who you like? I mean, I know before we
Yeah.
started the interview, we were talking about one in particular that we both watch.
Well, obviously, your channel.
Obviously.
And you do like a lot of thrillers and cozy mysteries like I do, so it's all
Yeah.
good. Kit Kats can read, love Katie to bits. And also I've got a new favourite as well, Mini Book Chats. And
Awesome.
she's adorable. And her dog's in the video, and
Oh
sometimes the
yeah.
dog knocks the camera as she's trying to film with the books and stuff, which is quite cute. Or she gets her dog to choose her next read or something. So I love
Yeah.
that.
Cute, awesome. And so in terms of how you make your videos, like what equipment do you use, and like what equipment, what software do you use?
As I say, I'm not very tech savvy. I'm a very lo-fi basic person. I literally, I use my phone.
Yeah.
I've got all the flash microphones and the camcorders and the special this and that, but it's so stressful and so much hassle. I think, what's the point? I just press record on my phone. It's quite decent quality. It's got a good mic. Boom, just press record, stop, upload, done.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty low, but I kind of like that I'm lo-fi. There's too many people who try and get everything so perfect.
Mm,
So for me, I like watching other people and I like doing my stuff really natural, raw, gritty, just, you know, just like comfortable lo-fi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because people do have those different styles. I mean, I'm the same. Like I don't worry about camera angles or anything like that. I
Yeah,
just
no,
whack my camera on, and the only editing I
exactly.
do is to cut out the silence while I'm going from part to
Yeah,
part. You know,
yeah,
but then some people do like the really sort of overproduced
yeah.
videos as well, and it's, you know, it's
We've
again,
all
it's kind
got
of
our
you saying this.
audiences.
Yeah, and there's something for everybody there. Yeah.
You're listening to The Archer on 106.6 FM Wickham Sound. I'm your host, Dane Cobain. I'm here in conversation with Laura Stone. And this is Betty Accorsi with King Arthur Works in Rottingdean.
That was King Arthur Works in Rottingdean by Betty Accorsi. You're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM Wickham Sound. I'm your host, Dane Cobain, and I'm joined now in conversation by this week's guest, who is ASMR artist and YouTuber Laura Stone.